What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay. Every single day, man, we're trying to get some cash. Today we have the legend himself, Rob Vino from WagerTalk.com. Rob, let him know what's up and how you been doing over there at Wager Talk, my brother.
How are you today, Jay? I love this Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern time because you can get me cranked up here with your intro. Hey, it's been good to me coming out of the All-Star break. I have to say 9-1 NBA since the teams I've taken back to the court. You and I were talking just a little bit off air, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it during this show, but it seems like there are patterns developing, and boy, that hat resembles one of them right now. Where we can just hit the same thing each and every day and continue to cash. So until those trains run out, why not stay on board and keep running them? But today we got a play up and available right now, wagertalk.com. Anybody interested, just go visit wagertalk.com. You can get all my action right there, wagertalk.com.
Exactly. We have a special promo code for Rob as well at the end of the show if you guys want to check him out. We got a little bit of feedback there with Rob over there, but no, it's all good. But we're gonna try to get some cash today. Like I say, go check him out at wagertalk.com, and we will get some cash today, man, as well. Let me see. Sorry, Rob. I had to mute you there for a sec. Some stuff going on. But let's get some cash today, man. First game up. It's all business, Rob. It's all business. We got some free plays over there at Wedge Talk as well, man. So go check out the site. We're going to the streets of Orlando here, Rob. We have the Magic versus the Pacers. I'm not interested in this game, but I must say I'm not necessarily agree with the Magic being the favorite in this game. They're not great at the house as well here, Rob. The Pacers coming off a big win versus Boston last night. Brogdon back in there. They seem like they're trying to play again. Do you think that the Magic will have enough offense to keep up with the Pacers here tonight?
Yeah, I tell you what, the first interesting thing we'll see is Markelle Fultz comes back to the court tonight. How long has it been since we've seen him in uniform? Former number 1 overall draft pick. Not sure that he's going to be any bit of a difference maker here tonight. If he is, that would be quite a surprise. But, you talk about that starting backcourt for Indiana, Jay, right now with Malcolm Brogdon and Tyrese Halliburton. You have 2 points who can both shoot, who can both score, who can both rebound. This is a heck of a backcourt right now, what they've proven the last couple of days. And I would say that, again, I've stated this before, but it's very interesting. And he was in your territory for a lot of years. Seeing this as a Rick Carlisle team is very, very strange because they want to play pace. They want to score points. They're doing a real good job of it. It's a hungry team. I don't mind them right here. Both of these have trended to the over heavily over the course of the last couple of weeks. So I think if you were looking to play over, you'd probably want to do that. The Pacers get to 128 yesterday against Boston, but let's remember Boston was on a back-to-back, maybe a little bit fatigued. Total has gone up. There's always a tipping point, right? We're at 232.5 right now. I had some numbers earlier that don't apply anymore when I was taking notes this morning and for the show, but the Magic have gone over 232 in 3 of their last 4, 6 of their last 10. And where Indiana's concerned, they've done the same over 232, 13-2 over in the last 15. But 11 of those have gone over 232. So this is not a number that's unapproachable. Probably still a little wiggle room left. If you don't like the side, maybe you want to look total over because these two teams seem to be playing. I think Orlando is the fastest tempo team last 5 games in the NBA.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Can never talk you out of an over with the Pacers as well, guys. So there will be a great game there. You make some great points with that one, Rob. Let's get up here to the streets of Cleveland here. We have the Cavs versus the Timberwolves. Timberwolves had a big win, right? Their first game versus the Grizzlies coming out of break, back-to-back spot. Then they got smacked up versus the Sixers. It was a letdown for the Timberwolves, but it was also a step-up spot for the Sixers. They brought new energy over there, so I don't fault them too much for that. Now, I don't like the fact that the Wolves have the Warriors tomorrow on deck back at the house, and they know it as well. They even mentioned it in the press game conference, but they know that they have to, when you're the Wolves, you have to stack up every win that you can get. And look here, Rob, with the Cavs as well, they're kind of regressing back to the, to the average, right? We know they were very hot, covering a lot of spreads. Now they're down LeVert, Garland, and Rondo as well. So you have Brandon Goodwin and Tim Frazier out there as point guard. I don't believe in this is a revenge spot as well for the Wolves here. They lost 106 to 123, and double revenge spot, and they lost December 10th as well. There was no D'Angelo Russell that time around, and Garland usually carves them up as well. He had 12 points, 12 assists. I like the Wolves here, even at this late number. I feel like this line is all over the Wolves here, Rob.
It's the only way I could look in this game, Jay, the only way. And you brought up a couple of things that I would have mentioned. That backcourt for Cleveland is decimated, and it's just not a good matchup when you're playing the Timberwolves, who are loaded in the backcourt. And when you stretch it out depth-wise, and like you say, Brandon Gordon, Tim Frazier, Isaac Okoro, who may be asked tonight to play small forward because he's their best defender, and maybe you need him on Anthony Edwards. I know he was praised by his head coach for his work against Kyle Kuzma in their last game. RJ Nembhard, the guy's only played 8 games this year, averages 1.4, but he's your backup shooting guard. So, I mean, Malik Beasley comes back for Minnesota tonight to increase the firepower in that backcourt. It's tough for Cleveland. All that being said, you know, there's some front court advantages for Cleveland, but not at center, I don't think. You know, Jarrett Allen likes to live near the rim as a protector, but Karl Anthony Towns wants to drag you away. And I'll give you just here, Jay, real quick, a quote from his head coach, Chris Finch, who said, I think we got to try to get the ball to Cat a little bit more. We've got to feature him, I think, more throughout the game. He's had such a great season and been so good at picking his moments to step up and just fitting in with everybody. It's been important. We have to make sure we don't underutilize a guy with that type of talent. So you may see the ball in Cat's hands a little bit more here tonight. I think when you drag Cleveland's picket fence away from the rim, it's not good. So I think the only way I could look is Minnesota in that game.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I did take them at -3, so it's at 3.5 now. At personal play, personally, I'd be on the Wolves, but I'm not giving out official at -3.5. Could have got a lot better number this morning. I still like the Wolves here though, and I like them first half as well. The Cavs were even down to the Wizards in the first half of the last game. Only reason why they won is because obviously the Wizards on double overtime, coming off that double overtime game, they got outscored by 10. So that Cavs final score was a little bit misleading. They were basically nowhere near the cover. They just took advantage of some tired legs here. So I can't see the Cavs having enough offense to keep up with the Wolves here. Like the Wolves here, personal plays for me, first half -1.5, full game -3. It's at 3.5 now. But like I said, those are some couple personal plays that I'll share with you guys. Let's go over here to the streets of not New Orleans, going to the streets of Brooklyn here. I mean, yeah, you have no one wants to take the Nets right now, Rob. This is an ugly game, right? Do you like some here? Do you think the Nets can keep it going here, or do the Raptors continue to get smacked up?
Well, for the Raptors, it's been a case of starters missing, right? I mean, between Fred VanVleet and OG Anunoby over the last 6 games, either the combination of both or one or the other has been missing from that lineup. And it's caused them to slide a little bit because let's remember, Toronto's not a deep team. This is a head coach. If we go all the way back to that triple overtime game against Miami where they all played 50-plus minutes, and we noted at that time, Jay, I think we were on the show talking about Toronto that day, that he doesn't play a lot of bodies, and they don't have a lot of bench production whatsoever. They tried to increase that bench production a little bit Saturday night by starting Khem Birch, which allowed him to keep Precious Achiuwa and Chris Boucher, use them off the bench. But Khem Birch gives them no points in 12 minutes and 49 seconds, 2 lousy rebounds. So, again, it's a team that's only like 7 deep with production. I think by seeing the line movement in this game, that even though Fred VanVleet is listed as questionable, he's probably a go in this game. It wouldn't go from 2.5 to 4 without that. That being said, I would look at the underdog here. I think one overlooked fact in this game is that at home now, we know they don't have Kyrie, but Goran Dragic plays point now at home. And we saw a lot of faith in Goran Dragic Saturday night out of his head coach, Steve Nash. So I think point guard play is better for the Nets here. I think they're the deeper team. Toronto's, the 4 in their starting 5 are better than all 4 of the Nets in their starting 5 at their positions. But bench is a heck of a lot deeper. Give me Cam Thomas and that bunch off the bench against Toronto's limited players. I think +4 might be worth the taking. I think we have to note real quick here, Jay, that it's the first of back-to-backs. Tomorrow night, they're going to play this same game in Toronto.
It's a great point. It's a great
with
point.
Kyrie. So maybe we learn something here tonight and come back and apply it tomorrow. But I think I would look Brooklyn.
That's a great point, Rob. The fact that they do play tomorrow gives me hesitation here, right? Because they'll have Kyrie tomorrow. You right now, I'd like to bet on the Nets on the road. Stand away from them at the house unless I'm betting against them here, man. Now you have Fred VanVleet. I'm watching the post-game interview. Say it's time to play. It's time to come to play. We got to start playing. The Raptors are coming off 2 blowout losses here. You dig what I'm saying? So since they are, this is a revenge spot as well, man. They lost 131 to 129 in overtime in Brooklyn, December 14th. What did KD do? He had 31 points, 11 assists, 13 rebounds. Toronto was plus 4.5 in that game. Now this line is coming to Toronto being the favorite. This line is all over the Raptors, guys. Double revenge spot as well. It's a bounce back spot off 2 blowout losses, but they lost them against 2 really great offensive teams, the Hornets and the Hawks. So I don't fault them for that. They talk about it not being in rhythm after All-Star break. This is the 3rd game back as well with the day off. So I expect these guys. And just real quick to go away from my notes, you shut off Cam. So Cam Thomas, Patty Mills, and Kyrie has been the main offense from them. Obviously, won't have Kyrie and forgetting one of them. But even though they have Dragic now, what you gonna say, Rob? What'd you say?
Seth Curry.
Seth Curry, exactly. That's what I'm forgetting. So Seth Curry, Cam Thomas, and Patty Mills. That's their offense right now. You see what I'm saying? You shut down those 3 guys or 1 or 2, mainly Seth Curry, and I think the Raptors can win this game. I think they bring the defense intensity tonight, and if they do that, they should smack these guys up. They're off 2 blowout losses. Time to bounce back. 9-2 against the spread last 11 games, following the ATS loss. 4-0 against the spread last 4 meetings in Brooklyn. They're 11-3 against the spread last 14, following the straight-up loss as well. 6-2 against the spread last 8 games after allowing 125 or more points. They won't allow 125 to this Nets team. Nets 2-7 against the spread last 9 games after a straight-up win. 1-7 against the spread last 8 home games versus a winning road team. 1-5 straight up and against the spread last 6 at home, and 2-12 against the spread last 14 home games. I'm staying far away from the Nets at the house. They're coming off a big win as well versus the Bucks. Raptors coming in off, so maybe a little bit off of a high, a little fat and sassy, Rob. But I like the Raptors here first half in full game to come in here and bring the defense and smack these guys up. I'm with you. I don't expect VanVleet to sit this game out, especially with toughing it out versus Atlanta. And one more key note. They do the Nets. They have Dragic. That's good for him, but he only had 1 game back. He said he was tired after 6 minutes. And Dragic, the Raptors have major revenge versus Dragic. He went to that team and like he didn't want to play. I think they'll see Dragic on the court and want to go at his ass all single night. Give me the Raptors here. First half, full game, -2, -4, top play of the day, my guys. Then maybe the Nets can get some revenge tomorrow with Kyrie on the court, their main and best offensive player. Let's go over here to the streets of Miami here. Sorry for talking so much, but that's my top play of the day. I got the Raptors outfit on as well. The shirt, it's not a Raptors shirt, but I like to wear the shirt, pants, and socks when I'm on the Raptors. Let's go. Let's go over to the streets of Miami here, Rob. Bulls +4 versus the Heat without Kyle Lowry. You like some here?
We would have liked Miami a little better with Kyle Lowry for sure. I think his replacement becomes Gabe Vincent. But I like Miami's focus. And you just talked about Toronto's defensive advantage over Brooklyn, right? So we should probably talk about Miami's defensive advantage over the Bulls. The Bulls just aren't a good defensive team. They're not a big team. They had that problem all year long. They've overcome it with a ton of offense and great offensive performances out of DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Vucevic at center. The whole crew has been really, really good. But in this instance, I read a couple of quotes from Jimmy Butler, who actually went to the Bahamas for a couple of days worth of workouts and claimed that he believes this team can win the entire thing. This team is focused, and they've played, I think, more than any other team, Jay. If you can think of another one, correct me. But I think that they've played without important players in their lineup more than anybody in the NBA this season. And yet they still sit there looking at that number 1 seed in the East. These two teams are in that battle for it. This game is on Miami's home floor. I feel like Miami comes out fired up in this game. Number seems reasonable at 4. Again, I think that injury situations to the Heat have meant less to them than any other team in the NBA this year. So I look for Hero. I look for Robinson, Adebayo, Jimmy, the rest of that crew to do the job here against a team that they can score, but they just don't play enough defense. Maybe you can get to the over in this game because of Miami's 3-point firepower and the Bulls' lack of defense and the way the Bulls can score. But I would prefer to play the Heat here. I just think this is a real good spot for them in a game where I see them being really focused. I'll try Miami here minus the 4.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, it's a tough game for me, guys. I'll be honest with you. The Bulls, the one thing I don't like, they come off 5 or 6 straight home games and then head out on the road for the first time. I never really liked that situation. You know how I feel about the Bulls. If you can put some defense or have a defensive game plan against DeRozan, I feel like you can beat the game. You can beat the Bulls. Mainly, I mean, that's when LaVine is not on. Now, when LaVine and DeRozan are cooking, if those go for 30 apiece, this is a winnable game for the Bulls, guys. This is a double revenge spot. They've lost twice already this year to the Heat. They lost 104 to 107. Lowry had 19 points in that game. Then they lost 118 to 92 on December 11th. Lowry had 16 points and 14 assists in that game, and there was no DeRozan. So now you get DeRozan and LaVine in there in the Bulls with some revenge, kind of hot, getting a +4. When I look at it, I'm with you. I was like, I want to take the Heat here. Then when I see no Lowry out there, everything changes because it's kind of like Chris Paul for the Suns. He's their floor manager. He's basically the heart and soul of the team. And without him, you have guys just like the Suns. Devin Booker run the point guard. He's not a point guard. With the Heat, you have Jimmy Butler run the point. He's not a point guard out there. I could see guys like DeSumo, Javonte Green having a good game today. So I do lean the Bulls here. I probably won't even bet it because I could see this game going either way. The Heat do have the defensive mindset to win this game and really clamp down on the shooters for the Bulls. So it's a tough game for me, but if I had a free bet on it, I would be taking the Bulls plus the 4, my guys. But don't let me talk anyone out of your bet, especially if it's not something official for me, guys. Just real quick, Bulls 4-0-1 against the spread last 5 following a straight up loss. 6-2 against the spread last 8 in Miami. Obviously Lowry is out. You have the Heat 0-5 against the spread last 5 home games, and they have the Bucks on deck. So those were just my points of me leaning towards the Bulls plus the 4 there. Let's go over here to the streets of Memphis here, Rob. We had the Spurs plus 8.5 last game of the rodeo road trip. Grizzlies red hot at the house, laying 8.5. Do you trust the Grizzlies here? I know I'm not betting against them, but it seems kind of funky here laying 8.5 versus a Spurs team that can score. They don't play defense, Rob, but they can score with the best of them.
You know, like we said about Rick Carlisle earlier, Jay, it's funny looking at a Greg Popovich team that does this, right? I mean, they are just and I give them credit. I mean, they're 24-37. You're not going to win Coach of the Year with that record. But what he's done with these guys, and they traded away Derek White, and that offensive train hasn't slowed down one bit. So what they have is a bunch of guys that can shoot it. Again, they don't shoot a lot of threes, right? He does stick to that principle where he wants what he would consider and what we would say back in the day were good shots, right? The 2-point shots, the layups close to the rim. When they first started this rodeo road trip, I thought that there would be good places to play against this team, good spots to play against them, but that All-Star break really broke it up for them.
Right.
It hasn't been one of those deals where they've been road weary because of the break. This is going to be their 3rd and 4 nights. And I'm going to say this about Greg Popovich. He uses every single guy on that bench. He had a back-to-back situation this weekend. Second game of the back-to-back. He puts Murray on the bench to give him rest. He puts Keldon Johnson on the bench to give him rest. He puts his center, Jakob Poeltl, on the bench to give him rest. 3 of 5 starters, and then just sticks in 3 other components. Josh Richardson, acquired from Boston, Romeo Langford. They've got all these interchangeable guys. Devin Vassell. And they won the game straight up that night and scored a whole bunch of points once again. I've been on Spurs overs for a while. They've been very, very good to me. But, boy, the odds maker caught up here, right? 237.5 all of a sudden. I'm like, I'm used to getting 226 from the odds maker, and now I got to really, really reach. I know Memphis is high octane, very fast-paced. This game should be up and down the floor. But 237.5 sometimes can be a different deal. Memphis plays enough defense to win a game like this, in the 123, 112 range. And all of a sudden, it's a high-scoring game, but it's not enough. So I thought once, twice, 3 times about it, Jay. I still haven't gotten there. I think if I were to look at this game and play anything, it would have been over the total. But even first half was scary because it's 121.5 for first half. So I'm probably going to end up laying off.
Yeah, it's a tough game for me, man. The Spurs, you're never gonna know what you're gonna get from the Spurs. We've noticed they have a lot of young ballers, like you said. When they got Richardson and some guys over there, Langford, he hadn't been playing, but you still have guys like Vassell, Primo. Obviously Dejounte Murray's an all-star. We everyone has to agree with that. And I think that Pop figured it out that my team is not we're not built to play defense, so we're just gonna have to try to outscore teams. Sometimes you have to just kind of go play the cards that you have. He knows that it's just not a good defensive team. Yeah, Keldon Johnson. So they rested their three top guys last game, got them rested up. So this is not necessarily a bad travel spot for them. It's a tough game for me. I don't want to bet against the Grizzlies. That's why I didn't even write anything out on this game. When it's a Grizzlies game, it's them or nothing for me. But I could see the Spurs hanging around. It's a tough game for me. I'm staying off. I don't have to bet it, so I'm not. Let's go here to the streets of Milwaukee here, Rob. We got the Hornets. Sometimes the discipline is what gets us going. It keeps us going, man. Don't have to bet every single game. If you just have a small edge, maybe you like, I want to throw someone. No, I'm betting someone I feel like I got a big edge. They come to play. Bucks 10.5 versus Hornets. They come off an overtime loss to the Pistons. You do usually play the Bucks well. I'll tell you this: the Bucks could blow the Hornets out. I'm not betting on the Hornets right now, but the Bucks, they're not the team of last year. They're still being priced like it. This team is not locked in like they were last year, guys. They're coasting the regular season. So I just wanted to let you know that. That's why I've cashed a couple of straight tickets going against them. What do you think here, Rob? Are the Hornets just that bad where they get smacked up by the Bucks here?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because if we just use the rest factor, Milwaukee's had a day to be angry about that Nets game that they let get away late. Right. And Charlotte had to play overtime last night against the Pistons, 127-126. Few guys got extended over 40 minutes in that game. Rest factor. I like Milwaukee back home off of a loss. They want to get back on the floor as quick as they can. I like Milwaukee situationally because of that. But I like what you said in the beginning of this. Milwaukee's a small basketball team with Bobby Portis at center. I think he had 8 or 9 threes the other night. And it's a great matchup for Charlotte because Charlotte doesn't, they've got all those young legs and they don't necessarily tire. When Milwaukee plays a team that can run with them and has the ability to score with them, it's hard for them to shake the other side unless the other side has a bad shooting night. Now, Charlotte's had some real bad shooting nights. There's no question about that. They can be as off as anybody in the NBA, and if that happens tonight, they're going to get blown out of the building. The question is, do I want to take the shot and lay 10.5? Do I think fatigue in the fourth quarter will be an issue against Milwaukee? It could be for Charlotte. Like I say, they're off overtime last night. But, when you said you like to have a big edge, Jay, I don't know that we've got a big edge here. We got a little edge, but I don't know if it's big enough for me to get involved because the matchup does fit Charlotte for sure. Is LaMelo Ball, Kyrie Irving? I mean, it took Kyrie going off completely Saturday night to win that game. LaMelo Ball's not Kyrie, but can he have that type of performance on any given night? Of course he can. In Milwaukee's, I don't know, Jay. They're better than that individually, defensively, but they just don't show it on the floor. Right now, they look like a track meet style team. Let's just get up and down. First one to 130 wins, and I'm not laying 10.5.
Exactly. It's simple. So, and that's why I'm saying I don't have anything on the game because it's Hornets or nothing for me. They're in the bad. They're at the rest disadvantage, and the Bucks have double revenge. But I mean, why do they have the two players that usually give the Bucks fits? It's guys like PJ Washington and Miles Bridges. They're hybrid bigs. They can get buckets in the paint, dunks, layups, fouls. They can also shoot threes. So it's a tough matchup for the Bucks. That's why I say, yeah, it's double revenge. They've lost the last two versus Charlotte, but you look at why. The Hornets are not just the last two. They're 12-3-1 against the spread last 16 meetings versus the Bucks, and also 9-4-1 against the spread last 14 in Milwaukee. So when you see a team historically play a team close and they're getting 10.5 points, that's the only way I can look. But I wouldn't also be surprised to see the Bucks take them to the woodshed and finally come out here and play a serious game. Like they need to get smacked up first. So Bucks bring them defense, they'll smack them up. If they don't, the Hornets could possibly win the game. It's a stay off for me. It's simple. I could see it going either way here. I'm not the Bucks. This is not the Bucks of last year. I just wanted to let you guys know that. Last game up here, Rob, not a ton for me. I can't tell a single soul to take the Kings here, but and I don't know, Rob. I can't say anything about this game, man. I don't know. Let me just tell you this: Kings 4-1 against the spread last 5 versus OKC. 8-3 against the spread last 11 in OKC. They've owned the Thunder of late. They need a confidence boosting win and opponent. That's kind of what they get here. And they need to end a losing streak. Thunder off a big win as well. Who wants to win more? It's probably be the Kings. Who would like to lose more? Probably be the Thunder there. Thunder 0-2 against the spread last 4 home games, 0-3 against the spread last 5 after scoring 125 points. You like anything here, Rob?
Quick test for your audience, Jay, and your audience would be an A+ if they could answer this. Do they know who Lindy Waters III is? Do they know who Omar Sarr is? Tell you who they are. They were the 6th and 7th guys off the bench for the Oklahoma City Thunder Saturday night. I mean, Lindy Waters III was a really good scorer at Oklahoma State. Omar Sarr, I'm not sure, but they just keep bringing these guys up, Jay. I don't know. And now they went out and won that game, right? 129, 126 or whatever it was against Indiana Saturday night. It was an overtime game. SGA went crazy. But the list of guys that are out for OKC is just how do you play them without Dort, without Giddey, without Ty Jerome, without Robinson Earl, without Kenrich Williams? You can't. They're unplayable in my mind. They become a it's 22 years old and younger. Oklahoma City's cornered the market, and they can just keep running these guys out there, and they've turned their brand of basketball into a lot of 3-pointers and really fast tempo. That kind of suits Sacramento as well, led by De'Aaron Fox. They're off a tough back-to-back with the Nuggets. And I would call this a must-win for the Kings. Not that you have to win must-wins, right? Because when teams are in must-win, they don't always cover. But 3.5 games out of that 10 slot for the Western Conference, and they made that trade with Halliburton because they wanted to make a push. They want to be in the playoffs. So the next 2 games that they have are against 2 teams that are directly ahead of them in the standings, San Antonio and New Orleans. You got to win this one and then take those 2 teams on. If they're going to move up in the standings, it's going to be over the course of their next 3 games. I think if you have to play Sacramento here. Price has gone from 4 to 5. Power rating suggests they should only be 3. So you're paying a premium to play against Oklahoma City. But I'm not touching a team with Lindy Waters III and Omar Sarr as my first 2 guys off the bench. So I'll take Sacramento in a game that I think they must win.
Yeah, it's simple. Yeah, I'll say this. I wouldn't bet the Thunder here. That's the only thing that I'll say here, Rob. Let's get over here to some free picks, man. Top looks, leans, Rob. Let them know. First, we'll let you guys know what we got cooking over there at Wager Talk, man. A special promo code for Rob and any guy that comes on the show for the day, guys. Let's get to it.
Here at Wager Talk and Sports Memo, we would never say it was silly to buy a single play $25 package, but we are darn close to saying just that. Just for J Money viewers, we have discounted 3-day all-access passes for every handicapper at Wager Talk and Sports Memo who appears on Jay's show from $59 down to just $19 by using coupon code J19. So why buy one play for $25 or $35 when you can get a 3-day all-access pass for only $19? Our new roster of experts is 25 deep, covering sports from all around the world, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do to redeem this offer is go to wagertalk.com or sportsmemo.com, choose your handicapper from the show, and use coupon code J19 when checking out on a 3-day all-access pass, and get 3 days of picks for only $19.
You can get 3 days of picks of my guy Rob Vino for 19, man, using promo code J19. Rob, what you got going at Wager Talk today? And let them know if you have any top leans or looks, best pick of the day on the board, my brother.
Yeah, wagertalk.com. I'll just enhance that a little bit, Jay, and tell your audience that you can become a member over there just by submitting your email address, and then you'll get access to Monday through Friday analysis shows that all the handicappers at Wager Talk do over there. It's good stuff. Just if you guys watching like what Jay does every single day, then you'll also like what Wager Talk does. It's much of the same, going in depth on all of these games. So once again, wagertalk.com, my selection packages are there each and every day. Top NBA play up over there right now. I'll say for the show, Jay, of what we talked about, I think the matchup just favors the Timberwolves against Cleveland. I don't care if you play them first half, if you play them full game. I think they both work. You know, the last time out against Philadelphia, not only was Minnesota off back-to-backs coming right out of the break, but Philadelphia's unique in the fact that they can match up Karl Anthony Towns with Joel Embiid, an elite center defender, and they could match up Anthony Edwards with Matisse Thybulle, maybe the best on-ball defender on the wing in the NBA. I don't know that those two things exist here for Cleveland, and I certainly don't think Cleveland can score the way Philly scored. I think the T-Wolves have had a couple days rest. I think it's a good side. So for the show, I'd say that's my best bet. Timberwolves minus the points, first half or full game, whatever you like.
You know what I'd say today? Oh, we raised by Wolves, man. I like the Timberwolves first half and full game as well, man. Played those personally. Maybe it's going some threes popping up, so maybe don't lay that 3.5 and you just try to get the 3. But I played Timberwolves first half full game personally. Also, what else I do personally? Oh yeah, Raptors for me, man. Top play today, first half and full game. I know it's an ugly pick. I know recent form. No one wants to touch the Raptors right now, but I think with them coming out the 2 blowouts gives me even more confidence with them coming out here ready to go, bringing the defense. If they bring the defense versus this version of the Nets at the house, this game could literally get ugly. They play tomorrow as well. I'm not sure if Kyrie is even eligible to play in that one, but I know he's not in there today. Still no KD as well. The Nets will make a run, but so will the Raptors. They will get back to their winning ways tonight, guys. Raptors first half -2, full game -4. Also play Wolves first half full game personally. Let's get some cash, guys. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. 769 people watching. Hit the like button, subscribe. We're here every single day, man. Monday through Sunday, giving out free picks. Hit the like button, subscribe. Go check out wagertalk.com. Follow Rob at Rob Vino Sports. You can follow me as well at J Money is Money. We out, my guys. Let's cash. One time for the one.